and I'm just telling you exactly what you have to do on your quiz tomorrow. On your quiz tomorrow, you have to find an equation given the endpoints of a diameter. And there's one on the review I'm going to give you so that you can work on it and ask me questions. If that diameter is not vertical or horizontal, you can't just count how long it is or count to the middle, which means you might have to do the distance formula or the midpoint formula that we wrote down from section 3.2 to find the center and the radius. So remember our circle formula is x minus b squared plus y minus a squared. And then we talked about parabolas, and you have to find the vertex, the focus, the directrix of that parabola. And it means you must put it in standard form, which means you're going to have to complete the square on this. Remember, in a parabola, either x is squared or y is squared. Remember that if it's, I'm going to just do one, but if it opens up or down, right, that's your vertex at h and k, and your focus is p units away inside of it, right? So that's the distance of p, and your directrix is always behind it. It's the equation, and it's p units the other way. So remember, we have like that x minus h squared equals 4py. Isn't that our formula? Or y minus k squared if it's going left to right equals 4px. So you might have to complete the square, and then it's all about, if you can find what p is, you can graph your focus and your directrix. And remember, you can graph that parabola. I don't think you have to graph this, but if it helps to sketch it, you can. Then we did ellipses, and ellipses are kind of like circles, except for has the major axis and the minor axis. And remember, in an ellipse, a is always the biggest number. And so again, put it in standard form, which means you're going to have to complete the square. You're going to have to tell me the center. The vertices are just from the center to the major axis endpoints. The foci are your c values. So remember, for an ellipse, it's a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Depending on which way it opens, it's x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. So it's always addition, but a is the bigger one. So if it's wider horizontally, it's going to be x over a. If it's taller than it is wide, then it's going to be y over a. And also, you're going to be given some information and have to find the equation. So there's 2 questions over ellipses. And then the first one. And I tried to go through and find questions in the book very similar to the questions on the quiz to give you a very honed-in review for this quiz. Take the quiz tomorrow, and then we can get you go over the quiz. And so then the last one, find the equation for a hyperbola given certain information, like given the center and the vertices, or given the asymptotes, given something like that, given the eccentricity. We had one like that. Oh, I tried to take one like that. So remember, for a hyperbola, again, there's 2 different equations, but in a hyperbola, c is the biggest one. So how do you know to write your equation? It's which one you make positive. So if the vertices are vertical, then y is positive. If the vertices are horizontal, x is positive. So that could be like x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus a squared over b squared. So remember, a can be smaller than b. It's positive. So that's how you know which one you're going to do. So I didn't give you that many questions here, and I kind of jumped around from each section. That on the circle one, I gave number 45 for you to do. From 11.1, I kind of made my own directions here, but 11.1, page 735, number 10, you're just going to find the vertex, the focus, and the directrix. And then there's 2 from 11.2, because there's 2 questions on your quiz from 11.2. and then I gave you 2 from 11-3 as well. These might be questions you've already done your homework, so if they are, you're welcome to look back at and see if you know to do them. But 2, 4, 5, 6, that's 6 questions, and I'm giving you the time to work. So please work on it. Ask me questions if you have them. Tomorrow we'll talk briefly before we take the quiz, but we're not going to go through all 6 of these because my hope is we can move to the last day to get your questions answered before you leave. Alright, so as you're working on this, I'm going to go back and work on that 28 and see what I'm doing wrong, why I can't figure it out, and then I'll talk to you about it when I figure it out. Okay? I'll leave this up to get on the navigator.